Glacier, it is a backup service of AWS. Backup,
Karthik, are you sharing your screen?
yeah, sorry, I forgot. It is a backup storage service of AWS. With the help of this Glacier service, you can store data with us at a very cheap price. Okay, one is the features of Glacier is it is very cheap in pricing. You can store backup files. Third, whatever you store, okay, in the Glacier, you have to archive it and you have to store it in the containers. So Glacier consists of containers. On the containers, you store your data in an archive mode. So archive in sense, I assume that you have some thousands of files, or you have assumed that you have a source code, some hundreds and thousands of files. What you do, you zip all that and you upload into our Glacier containers. Okay, and it is very, as I said, it is very cheap service. Okay, Amazon will charge only for storing the data per GB basis. Okay, per GB pricing, and for uploading the data, Amazon will never charge you for the bandwidth that you utilize. Okay, so not only this Glacier service, whatever the services it is, when you are uploading the data into Amazon, you utilize the bandwidth of Amazon, right? For that, Amazon will never charge. It's like I can say network inflow from outside to Amazon, no pricing. But when you are trying to download the data, okay, for that AWS will charge pricing. So here also with Glacier service of AWS, when you are trying to download the data, we call it as retrieving the data. Okay, when you are trying to retrieving the data, you have to specify the bandwidth that you required for retrieving the data. According to the bandwidth you specify, okay, the Amazon will charge. And in Glacier, the data retrieval speed is very slow. If you want to increase the data retrieval speed, yes, you can pay a high amount. Like he'll provide you the options. He'll provide you whether you want to download on what basis, whether 1 MB per second or 2 MB per second, 3 MB per second. Depending upon your download retrieval speed and the bandwidth that you specify, the price varies for that. The storage is different pricing and the download retrieval is different pricing. And Amazon is not providing any SLA with Glacier service. There may be a chance of losing the data. Okay, so as per my case study, what I have
What do you mean by what do you mean by losing the data, Karthik? They can just lose the data, everything?
no, I'll let you know. As per my case study, what I have learned is, so as I told you, every data center will have guidelines like for global guidelines, or like every 3 years they'll replace the hardware, whether it is in the running or whatever the state it is. So on the back end, Amazon is using such hardware, like such kind of hard disk, like for storing this Glacier data. So Amazon will not provide you any SLA agreement on this Glacier service as it provided with S3. On S3, when it comes to S3, Amazon will sign you a service lease agreement with the customer saying that, hey, 99.11 nines of SLA it will provide you. It will take care of the data of it's like if you store 1 GB of data, there may be a chance of losing 1 MB for every 1,000 years. That kind of SLA Amazon will provide with on S3. But when it comes to Glacier, okay, Amazon is not providing any SLA. Okay, but like, you cannot say that, hey, if I store the data, maybe I'll lose the data completely on tomorrow or day after tomorrow after 1 year. No, it's not like in the worst case scenarios, there may be a chance of losing the data. That too, I think Amazon has provided like 95% of SLA can be given on this Glacier, but not to that S3 extent of SLA. So usually who uses this Amazon Glacier services, assume that you had on-premises company and you have a backup server, okay, and you want another backup server as a DR site for your on-premises server. When I say DR stands for disaster recover site. So every company will have DR site, okay. So what they do, they keep or they push all the backups important information to the DR site. So whenever something happens to that ongoing present running um, company or the data center, so they can retrieve the data from the DR site. This is what the main purpose of DR site is, disaster recover. Okay, so assume that you have on-premises office and you have the backup server and everything is set up good and going. Now, if you're looking for something storage on cloud, so yes, you can go with Glacier where you can store your backup storage. That's the reason Glacier is called a backup storage service of AWS. When compared with S3, the pricing is very very cheap. It's like tenth part of S3 pricing. If S3 bucket is charging you okay $10, here Glacier will charge you only $1 of storage. It doesn't mean that SLA it provides to some extent, but not as much as of S3. That's what my intention is saying that there may be a chance of losing the data when I say. So you can find this Glacier service under the category of storage. So here you can see when I point my mouse on the Glacier, it has a pop-up message saying that archive storage in the cloud. Okay, that's what I said, right? You'll archive your storage and you push it to the Glacier. Now, Amazon Glacier is an extremely low-cost storage service that provides secure, durable, and flexible storage for a data backup and archival. So, on the Amazon Glacier, you'll have the containers, right? In order to connect to a container, you need to create a vault. Vault is nothing but like a pipeline that makes an connection between your on-premises backup server to Amazon Glacier storage. Okay, you need to create a pipeline connectivity. First, create a connectivity. Second, write your data retrieval policies. I told you Amazon will charge you depending upon your retrieval policies that you specify, the speed or the bandwidth you require, how fast you want to download that data when something happens. Depending upon that, Amazon will charge you. And for storing the data as well, Amazon will charge. Second, you can also trigger a notification on your containers or when something happens. Like, see, if you upload some data to your container, you want to get notified. Yeah, you can do that when you download a data from the container. If you want to get notified, or when you delete, it's like when you perform some actions or some events on the containers or on the Glacier service of AWS, if you want to get notified, yes, Amazon will also offering that as a notification service with the help of SNS service of AWS. It sends emails, mobile notifications, everything. You can configure that. So these are the three great features of Amazon Glacier. Let us see how do we create vault and how do we connect it. First, you have to select the region where you're trying to create a vault. Okay. Now here it is automatically went to AP Southeast. AP South 1 stands for Asia Pacific South. It is the Singapore region name, or it is a Mumbai region name, I think. Yeah, Mumbai region name, because on the region I have kept Mumbai. That's the reason I took it from there. If I change to Singapore, and moreover, this is a region-based restricted service of AWS. You have to go to specific region and you have to select and you have to create. Okay. So second, you have to name the vault. Like I'll name for this scenario as test case. Okay. Next, create. So here it is. He's asking whether you want to enable the notifications or not. If yes, enable notifications and create a new SNS topic. If you have already running SNS topic, you can select from it. In my case, we don't have any SNS topics on my Singapore region. So what I'll do, I'll go back and I'll create a new SNS topic. Topic name, I'll say, for example, IT guys. Display name, IT. So when you want to exactly notify it, when somebody retrieve, when archive retrieval job completes, so it will notify saying that hey, your job has complete, retrieval job has complete, or when vault inventory retrieval job complete. So he has given two options when you want to exactly get notified. If you say two, yes, click on that. Just submit. That is on the back end. It is created a vault. Okay. Now you can connect to this vault via AWS console that right now we are seeing, right? Everything we are seeing, or via AWS CLI command line interface, okay, or through APIs also, application programming interfaces and SDK software development kits. Okay. No, but in my case, for this class scenario, I'll use a software, okay, some graphical user software to connect to this vault, and let us see how it does. There are a lot of softwares available in the market. One of the best software is Fast Glacier. Okay, just download this piece of software. If this is an user interface software, you can see what's going and how to upload and everything. So I already had a downloaded file in my system. Let me find out and let me install it for you. Okay, it's a very small size, like 3 MB kind of application. That's it. 2.78 MB. So basically, where do you install these kinds of software? On the backup server. Okay, so you install on the backup server. From there, you'll push all your backup data to Glacier. Yeah. Now, in order to connect to this Glacier service, okay, we need to configure our Amazon connectivity details. So it's like you need to have an IAM user, and that IAM user should have all the permissions on this Glacier. For that, what I'll do, I'll create one IAM user and I'll give him full permissions on the Glacier service of AWS so that he can upload the data and download the data. Go to IAM. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. Select users and create a new user. I'll add it as backup user. And I need an programmatic access with access key and secret key for him. So I'm not giving this particular backup user any console access. Okay, I'm just giving him the programmatic access. Now I'll select the policies. I'll search it from this Glacier. These are the predefined policies by Amazon. Okay, there I can find two policies that are predefined by Amazon on Glacier. One is AWS Glacier full access, other is AWS Glacier read-only access. But in our case, we required full access because we are trying to upload the data, right? We are dumping the data into Glacier. Now review it and attach that policy. Just create user. As soon as you click on create user, here you can see that this is the access key and secret key. Okay, now I'll copy this access key of this particular user and I'll try to create an account on Glacier side. Okay, on my software, I'll try to create an account saying that some name for my account, like I can keep like my AWS account type Glacier, and what is the access key that we have created. Paste that access key and the secret key as well. Secret key is like a password and access key is like a username. Now you can add a new account. That's it. As soon as you give, so this Glacier service will connect to Amazon and it will has full access on the Glacier, right? So it will contact all different data centers of AWS and it will try to pull the information where exactly Glacier uh, containers are created. See, for example, we created containers here, uh, Singapore, right? Where is Singapore? I think this is the old version they haven't. Okay, recently in Singapore region they added this Glacier service. That's the reason the software. It's an old software we downloaded. That's like before and 2 to 3 months ago. Maybe I was unable to the Singapore region. Now what I'll do, I'll switch to different region. I'll try to create another Glacier. Switch to Mumbai. Create vault. Vault name test case. Okay, and now try to refresh this. Mhm. Yeah, now it got replicated. It took some time. Here you can see the test case, whatever we created, has been automatically replicated with this software. Okay. On this, if you want to upload some information onto this particular container of test case, just you can do it from this UI. Let me upload some data.
Maximum how much data we can upload, bro?
Uh, there is no limited size. It's an unlimited storage. Okay, you can upload any unlimited storage, but for each and every archive that you upload, it should not cross more than 5 TB. I mean the file. You have uploaded your data into Glacier. Now, if you're trying to delete this Glacier service, it won't delete because you have did some archives. You have uploaded some data, right? That particular size of the data, it has to replicate on here this inventory, the size whatever you uploaded, the overall test case wall container size will be shown here. Excuse me. As this is not much concern, so he will not show all the information immediately. Amazon on the backend will have a predefined time. So on that particular time, he will check the size of the container and he'll display that. So it's like daily might be, I don't know exactly. For 4 hours or 5 hours, he'll check your container size, what is the size right now available in that, and he'll show you that particular size and the number of archives available in that particular this vault. But if I try to delete this vault, delete vault, so it's error deleting. Vault is not empty because we have uploaded something right to this vault, so it cannot delete. If you want to delete the vault, first you have to delete the archives that are in the vault and then you can go for deleting it. So right now we have an archive in that vault, this particular song. Okay, we have to delete this file, or if you want to download this file, as I told you, there are retrieval types. So by default, Amazon is offering you three different retrievals. One is standard, expected, and bulk. Okay, and the standard, this is the different pricing models he is charging. You can see if I choose standard, I can download that particular file in 3 to 5 hours. Okay, if I choose expedited, I can download it in 5 minutes, and the charge is somewhat higher when compared with standard. Okay, this is different. The pricing varies and the time varies depending upon the data retrieval you specify. Specify where you want to download. Select folder. Now it will start downloading that particular file. It says 3.75 MB, right? But it takes around 5 minutes for downloading that. As I told you, the data retrieval or the data download speed is very, very slow with Glacier. Here you can see, you can specify whether what data retrieval policies you want to go with. Like if you specify free tier, you can download your data. Okay, he will not charge any amount, but the data would be downloaded very slow. If I go with maximum retrieval rate, you have to specify here 10 GB per hour you can download. He's charging you $86 per month for doing that. Okay, it's not like whether you download or not. Okay, but the retrieval cost he's charging you. So for storing the data and uploading and everything, for that is very, very cheap price. But downloading, when you're trying to download that particular data, he'll charge you a lot of amount. So basically, let us think about one scenario. When do we occasionally download our data from backup server? When there is some disaster happened. Is that happens regularly? No. Very rare cases in that scenario. So any doubts on this topic, guys, with Glacier service of AWS?
No, bro.
I deleted the file, right? From this test case from here. Even I was trying to delete this particular vault. It is saying, hey, you have some files in it. Because Amazon has not, see, after 5, 6, 7 hours, when I try to delete, then it will try to delete that vault. Because Amazon will check on that particular predefined time values Amazon itself has for checking the vault size and archives in the vault, and it will try to display here. Okay, this is all about Glacier service of AWS. So what are the services we covered till now? For our remembrance, let me write it for you. EC2, S3, VPC, Glacier. Have we covered IAM?
Yes, bro.
And what else? On VPC, we talk about VPN connections, and on EC2, we had spoken about EBS volumes. So it's like we have covered networking, We have covered compute and this EBS volumes, S3, Glacier comes under storage. And this is something security. Okay. Now we'll talk about one more service that is Route 53. Okay. Route 53, Amazon has placed this service under networking category. Here you can see networking and content delivery category placed this Route 53 service. So Route 53 is a DNS service of AWS. When I say DNS, DNS stands for domain name service. What is the domain names? When you see some website, like we'll talk about one sample website, example.com. On the example.com, here the example.com is a domain name. Okay, and every domain we call this example.com as main domain of that site example.com. So every main domain can have subdomains like test1.example.com. Under this, test1 is a subdomain of main domain. What is the main domain? Example.com. Here subdomain is test1. Like you can have multiple subdomains like test2.example.com, test3.example.com. Okay, on each and every this domain name you can host one website. Okay, that's the reason Amazon has only one domain with him, amazon.com. Okay, here you can see amazon.com is the main domains of Amazon. Under that he has a subdomain called AWS. Under this, that's the reason you can see aws.amazon.com. Under this he's running his AWS business. When you go to normal amazon.com, under this he's running his reseller business, amazon.com, www.amazon.com. When you go to AWS website of Amazon, see you can see aws.amazon.com. Under he's running this cloud computing business. So what my intention of saying this is, under one domain you can host multiple subdomains and you can run different businesses, different websites and whatever you want, however you like. Now for doing this, first you need to purchase your domain name. From where you purchase these domain names means there are a lot of vendors in the market who sell these domain names. Example, GoDaddy, Big Rock, AWS, Route 53. Yes, with the help of our Route 53 service of AWS, you can purchase domain names. Second, you have to host your domain name. What is this host domain name mean? It means that you have to tell your domain name, or you have to tell your DNS server that, hey DNS server, I have purchased this domain name GoDaddy dot sorry, something. Assume that I'm trying to purchase a domain name called Ravi.com. So I did purchase this Ravi.com either from GoDaddy or Amazon Route 53, wherever it is. For hosting, I have to create a DNS saying that, hey domain name server, I'm trying to host a domain name called Ravi.com. Okay, so my ravi.com point website I have created, and I kept all the web code in one of the server, and you have to point it to one server's IP address. So we call that as records, creating the records. So I'll write down in points. First step, domain purchase. Second step, domain hosting. Under domain hosting, you have to create records creation. Okay, now third, monitor your domains. These are the three features of our Route 53 service of AWS. One is you can purchase the domain names, or you can even transfer the domain names too. Transfer the domain name means, assume that you have purchased your domain name from GoDaddy or BigRock. If you want to transfer the domain name to our Amazon, yeah, you can do the transfer also. And hosting domain name means, as I told you, you can host your domain names, and you can attach the domain names to some websites. Like as Amazon did, Amazon attached that Amazon.com to e-commerce website, and AWS did Amazon.com to his cloud computing business. Similarly, I can attach Ravi.com to some e-commerce website, or another test1.ravi.com to some other website. For that, you need to create records. We'll talk about this in detail later. And third is, after creating and attaching your domain names to particular website, you have to monitor that. Okay, that also can be done with this Route 53 service of AWS. This is an overview of Route 53 service of AWS, how this works. We'll talk about this in detail on tomorrow class. Okay, in the meantime, you can have a look on, and you can do search, and you can go through this AWS Route 53 pages. Okay, just try to read this, what exactly Route 53 does, and what is the pricing he's charging, such kind of information. That's it for today, guys, and we'll meet up with tomorrow class on Route 53. Any doubts for today class you have?
No, bro.